approached this from really an insight that we thought that the e-commerce process was broken, that you had this fantastic experience up until your product was shipped, and then you weren't really treated as a customer anymore, but rather a consumer. And this its suspicion was that a lot of brands have been focusing very, very hard on customer acquisition rather than retention. So they have been treated the aftermarket processes as an afterthought. It was one size fits all. Yes, you could get free returns, but it was up to the merchant to tell you how and where. So a lot of the findings that we got from the report from Whispr Group really confirmed this.
What we have learned during this specific study, one thing that was interesting for us with this study is that we actually both ask questions and listen to what people think about the return process and e-commerce on large. And what we kind of saw when we started to not only asking is good because you get hard facts like how often do you shop online, how often do you return something, how much do you spend, to understand those hard demographic facts. But when you ask, you also see other things. You can look at the reviews and get another experience, and not only the questions, because you're guided by your preconceptions what questions you can ask. You get to see things that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise, because you don't go into this research with your preconceived discussions. You start with what customers think, and if you look at the e-commerce and especially the return process and kind of the tail of the customer journey, oh boy, do people talk about it. And the scary part that we saw was that people that have a tendency to buy a lot online, most of them, 75%, have refrained from purchasing online on the possibility of making a return. This is something that comes up a lot, not only in a survey where we see that 75%, but we also see that people, when we look at conversations online, that people say that, no, I like that product, but maybe it won't fit, and I don't want the hassle of sending it back. So it's important for the people that don't want to buy online at all. It's important for the people that buy online a lot. And we also see that a lot of people have actually refrained from buying just because they have a negative experience. We could also see that it's the people that buy most often and spend the most money that are most affected by the return process. They don't want to buy things online because maybe they have a negative experience. When we looked at the return process, when we went through all those forums and other versions of social media, what we can see is that the negative sentiment was quite large. It was larger than many other areas where we usually looked. And shipping was one of the main concerns. We are very concerned with how will the shipping work. The process, it's okay. We have a lot of negative experiences there also, but the shipping was the thing that we had the most negative views about. How will it work? How will it work? Will it be easy for me? Will it be personal? Do I have to go back to the? So there were a lot of comments.